Hey everybody, this is Shelly, your mouthy mama at Talking Trash and Truths. And I don't normally do this. I don't do clips on YouTube, but I came across a stream of a very interesting man. Someone I've heard his name a couple times. I've seen one or two of his um, videos, I guess you would call them. And he is definitely a topic for conversation. He's not like anyone else that I've seen on YouTube. He's not like anyone else I've ever met. And you can take that however you want. I meant it, with all kindness. But this stream really amused me. I mean, I know they're very serious about all this, but as an outsider who's not involved with like LawTube and stuff like that, just somebody who, basically just gives her opinion as content, that was really funny. It was because I'm usually very quick to catch on to things. And when I walked into that conversation that Monograph was having, with his chat and, on his own, it was very, very hard to tune in and figure out what the hell he was talking about because I don't know all the stories. He doesn't give the backstory because he's moving quickly. And so he's name dropping and situation dropping, and I know there's context there. I know there's backstory, and I don't know what they are. So you're just kind of like stuck with all these new little leads, and like that's it. And it's just like, okay, like that sounded like an interesting one. Maybe I'll try to like look that one up. And then he got to Rob with Lawn Lumber. He is Lawn Lumber. But Monograph calls him dumber than lumber. And I'm so sorry, Rob. If you're listening, I'm so sorry. I do not mean to laugh, but that shit is funny. Um, I'm sorry. It just really struck me funny to say it out loud. Anyway, I so needed that laugh. Anyway, what I wanted to say was there was a clip of him talking about Rob that I found highly amusing, but also kind of, I don't know, like it was a little taunting, but it was also like, you know, kind of like helpful. Like he's telling him, you're not good at what you do. So why don't you go do this, 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 this? He's basically giving him a list of careers if the lawyering doesn't work out. And I thought it was hilarious. Um, and it's just the way Monograph thinks is so different than how I think. Like I'm used to being quick and like jumping on the next like, insult or whatever. But he really does. He embraces it. Like he likes it. And he's got a cadence that you kind of like get lulled into, like a repetition that he does. It's funny. He has some really interesting, if not confusing, takes because again, I don't have all the information. But he's a champion ranter. I'm gonna give him that. Like if there's a trophy for ranting, holy shit, he's got to get it because he can rant for easily like 20 minutes straight about one thing, never deviate from that topic, which I so envy because I just go in a million different directions like now. And he keeps going. He's just relentless. And it's almost like he's not even breathing because he's just so into it. And I don't know, it's not endearing is the wrong word. I guess it's intriguing is what I want to say. It's intriguing to me. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch a couple more of his streams because he has some interesting takes, and he really is good at um, going off on a subject and covering it in one fell swoop from end to end without like going off on all the different, side access roads or whatever, like I do. And I got to give him that. I got to give him props for that. His streams are wild. You never know where they're going to go. Um, he really kind of grows on you, though. It's funny. Like, you watch in the beginning when you first see him, like the first 5-10 minutes, you're like, what is going on? Like, you think you're like, this is a parody, right? Like, you're pulling my leg. Like, somebody's actually doing this. Okay. And then you listen and you watch his chat, and they're really into him. So they're like really supportive of him, which is great. Everybody needs their group. And he's got a very loyal group, apparently, because they're very like in tune with everything he's saying. And it's kind of weird. It's a really serious kind of chat. Like most chats that I go in, there's, like joking back and forth. These guys, I haven't seen them joke. It's more informative, like they're reminding each other of this and this and this, and look up this and go do that, and da, 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 and he means this and he means that. A lot of things, again, I can't follow because I don't have the information. But it was just interesting to see the level of seriousness of the chat in comparison to what's going on screen, because there's a bit of a disconnect even with all the support that they give him. It's weird. It's Words are failing me right now because I'm sorry, but my legs hurt like a lot right now. So I'm just trying to distract myself by making videos, which is something, I do all the time, but I'm actually trying to like include clips from other people's videos. And I'm going to put a clip of Monty doing his rant about lawn lumber, and I hope I don't get struck for it, but there's always a first, right? So we'll see how that goes. And Monty, if you're listening, I don't mean any offense. It was a really interesting clip. It really tickled me. Like I needed the laugh. I really did. And I think it's an interesting take. I think Rob should listen. You too. I would love to see a conversation happen between you. I really would. So what I say is to each his own. All of you, do you, make yourselves happy, don't hurt nobody, and just don't wish any harm on anybody. And that's how I am. I'm not wishing any harm on anybody. I wish you all the happiest of holiday seasons. And I'm going to be putting out content for that too, because it's a rough time for a lot of people. And I really feel like I need to give a little, oomph to somebody. So maybe you guys, other creators, if you listen, maybe you put something out for all those people who are going to be super lonely over the holidays. And just remind them that, it's just another day sometimes and it'll pass. You'll be all right. Sad, but we all get lonely. We all get sad. So, but I was not sad watching the video. And I highly suggest anybody out there go and take a gander at the whole video because it's hysterical. He's just a really interesting guy. So, I mean, you have to be open to other people's opinions and how they operate, how they process. And he just processes differently than most. But I think it's an honest, take what he gives you. It might not be factually accurate. I don't know. But I'm saying, because I don't have the information, I can't opine on that one way or another. But I think like his intention is pure to him. I don't think he's running a gag. I think whatever he's doing, it means something to him. And it's worth a look. So if you enjoy it, good. Maybe he's going to get a couple more subs. If you really enjoy it, maybe I'll get a couple more subs because that would be awesome. Anyway, go check him out. And I hope you enjoy the clip. I certainly did. And also give Lawn Lumber a look because he really is a good guy. He's doing a lot of really interesting content. He does like trials of the century, and it's a beautiful little thing that they do, him and Scott Cardinal. So maybe go check them out too. And on that note, I'm going to play the clip and say bye-bye. I will see you in the funny papers.
Oh, I didn't think so. Yeah, exactly. So all these little Walmart attorneys that are saying that, oh, well, I had no idea what was going on. Did you not read the emails there? Dumber than lumber? Hmm? You didn't read the emails. Is your job as far as an attorney, are you the type of dumber than lumber attorney that just attacks people in the real world, or do you defend people in the real world? Just curious, dumber than lumber. Hmm? Another Walmart attorney thinking he's all that. You ain't all that, dude. You ain't all that, obviously. And you want to run your mouth talking about, yeah, this guy is, I don't know who this guy is. He's responding to Drunkita making the breaking news announcement that he's being sued by Monograph, and this guy chimes in immediately, dumber than lumber. And he's like, I don't know who this guy is. He sent me all these emails. I don't know what's going on. And then he made that stupid video. Excuse me, I'm defending myself. You see, when I make a video, when people attack me and they falsely accuse me garbage I never did in a bajillion years, and I make see, that's called defending myself. Dumber than lumber. Don't you know what that is? Are you an attorney? What kind of, listen, you're supposed to be, aren't you one of the partners at the firm in Virginia? Do I need to call them up and ask them get a breakdown of your experience? Do you not know how all this works? Are you not aware of this thing called slander per se? Are you not aware of what that is? Do you know what it is? If you don't know what it is, I'm really worried for you. Maybe you're in the wrong field. Maybe you need to be a dishwasher somewhere, boy. Maybe you need to be a janitor. Maybe you need to be a roofer. Maybe you need to be a foreman. Maybe you need to be a drywaller. Maybe you don't need to be a dumber than lumber attorney. You see, that's what people do. They defend their position. They defend themselves because they're being attacked by some drunkita that thought it'd be a good idea to falsely accuse me of shit I never did in a bajillion years, and that have been fighting on the internet for a very long time. There's no excuses, none, zero. So you come in and you act like, oh, I had no idea. You know now. And I triple dog dare you to do anything about it. And if you want to dance, anytime, spend the money. Spend it all. Spend it all. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't be begging Megan, because begging Megan is begging. She doesn't even have any juice behind her own statements. She doesn't have any willpower against her own suit. She wants everybody else to pay for her crybaby bullshit. And it's a joke. And you're a joke too there, Mr. Dumber Than Lumber. You are a joke, an absolute joke. And I just called you out. And what you going to do about it? Dumber Than Lumber? See how that works?